I'm Anil Kumar, and here is another question with rational exponents to find absolute maximum and minimum value. The question is, determine the absolute extreme values of f of x equals to x squared minus 9 to the power of 2 over 3, where x is between minus 6 and plus 6. So we'll follow three steps. The first step is to find continuity. The function should be continuous in this particular domain. Second step is to find critical number, right? Critical number. And third is to find values of f of a, the lower bound, f of b, the upper bound, and f for all the critical numbers. I should write c's, right? There could be more than one critical number. Now, as we see in this particular case, the function has no restrictions, so it is continuous, and within this domain also it is continuous. To find critical number, we need to find the derivative of the function. So f of x is given to us as equal to x squared minus 9 to the power of 2 over 3. Derivative of this function will be, we'll apply the power rules followed by the chain rule, right? So 2 over 3 times x squared minus 9. 2 over 3 minus 1 will be minus 1 over 3 times 2x, right? Times 2x, which we could write as 2 times 2 is 4, so we have 4x in the numerator. Denominator will be 3 times cube root of x squared minus 9. So that is the derivative. To find critical numbers, we need to find f dash x equals to 0 or f dash x does not exist, right? So these two are the critical numbers, right? So let's evaluate the values for the critical numbers, right? So now we'll find critical numbers. In some of the books, they are not considering does not exist, which I think is wrong. You'll see from this example how it should be really done, right? So f dash x equals to 0. F dash x equals to 0 gives us one of the critical numbers. So that means numerator should be 0. That implies that 4 times x should be equal to 0 or x equals to 0, correct? The numerator should be 0. Now for f dash x does not exist, right? That implies that the denominator should be 0. That means 3 times cube root of x squared minus 9 should be equal to 0. And this gives us two values. So x equals to plus or minus 3. So x equals to plus or minus 3. So for these two values, denominator is 0. So these are our critical points, correct? So we can write down that the critical numbers are at x equals to 0 and at plus minus 3. You'll note all these three numbers are within our domain, right? So now we'll follow the third step, which is find the value of the function at a, b, which means lower bound and upper bound. So we say f of minus 6 is equals to what? So substitute minus 6 and evaluate the value, right? So in the function itself. So we'll use this equation, okay? So minus 6 square is 36. So I'll just write 36 minus 9 to the power of 2 over 3. Well, you can use calculator in this case to find your answer. So that will be better, right? So we have 6 square or minus 6 square will give you 36. So we have within bracket 36 minus 9 and exponent is 2 divided by 3. 9. So we get the value of 9, which is also equal to, if I write f of plus 6, even then plus 6 square is also 36 minus 9 to the power of 2 over 3. We get the same value. Now let's find what is f of 0. At 0, we get the value in this 0 minus 9 to the power of 2 over 3. So we get 0 minus 9 to the power of 2 over 3. So let's find this value. So we have within brackets minus 9, right? So the square will make it positive and then cube root, right? So we have cube root, that means to the power of 2 over 3. And that is equals to 4.32. Now let's find what is the value at plus minus 3. So f of 3 is equals to, when I substitute 3 here, so I get 3 squared as 9, so I get 0 to the power of 2 over 3, over which is 0. Similarly, f of minus 3 will also be equals to 0 to the power of 2 over 3, which is 0, right? So we have a set of values to compare. So out of these values, which is minimum? So these two are absolute minimum, and the maximum is here, so that is absolute maximum. Do you see that? And these values happen to be at the critical points, these two, right? So these are the zeros which are the critical points when they happen, and plus minus 3, yeah, so f dash x is equals to plus minus 3, so that is the critical point which we use, right? So now we can write down our answer, and that is to say that absolute maximum will be at, so maximum value is at plus minus 6, and the value is 9. Is that okay? And for absolute minimum, it is at plus minus 3, the value is 0. So these are the answers for this. Some of you can sketch this graph. It is a very interesting graph. You can see it is even symmetry, and the graph will look like kind of like this, right? So you know the value at 0, f of 0 is 4, so this value is 4 for us, and at plus minus 3 we get, so this is minus 3 and this is plus 3, we get zeros, and at plus minus 6 it is kind of 9, so those are the values. So here we have 9. So that is how the graph is going to look. It has even symmetry. It's a very interesting graph which you should work on. Thank you and all the best.